everyone. I just realized I'm wearing the same sweatshirt. I do own other clothes. I just choose not to wear them. So, um, I got this at Maurice's, and it is the softest, most comfortable sweatshirt ever. And I've been wearing it every day. So, um, also not wearing makeup and also super exhausted. So, let's chat. Hello. Hi, Angela. Hi, Mackenzie. Hey, hey, hey. It is Tuesday. Tuesday. Hi from Arizona. Look at my snow, Melissa. We have so much snow. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Leslie. I am tired. I am. I'm also not wearing any makeup, so um, that definitely ages me considerably. But no time today. All the kids got up super early this morning. It was really quite jarring. Do any of you have a kiddo that just like changes the entire atmosphere when they arrive? That is my Sawyer. So we're very thankful that Sawyer sleeps in because he needs a lot more sleep than the rest of the family. He just needs lots and lots of sleep. And when he comes down in the mornings, we like hold our breath because we're like, is he gonna be crabby or is he gonna be happy? Hey Anne, hey Robin. And a lot of times it's crabby. He can just change the whole dynamic of a room. My other kids aren't like that. They're pretty easygoing in the morning, but so he was crabby this morning. It was a early crabby morning. Thank you everyone for the compliments. Krista, I'm a Sawyer. Hey Rach, hey Bridget. Oh, it is. The Santa video is the best. I'm going to talk about Christmas shopping. That's what I'm going to talk about, and age appropriate things, and because I think it's a really important discussion to have. You know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about how um, parenting isn't all sunshine and roses, and I think it's funny, and by funny I mean that some people expect it to be all sunshine and roses online. I was like reading some weird stuff last night about how moms shouldn't say it's hard. I feel like I'm 100 times more positive than I used to, and I'm still not positive enough, apparently. How much snow did we get? So we got 21 inches of snow on Friday night. And Alex, ask your question. I can grab your question. So obviously you cannot see um, that like depth, but uh, it was a lot of snow. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you. Thank you, Kimberly. Everyone's so nice and happy. Oh, I love that. When Wendy's feet hit the ground, even the devil shook and said, "Oh no, she's up." Oh my gosh, that's Sawyer. Okay, so do you know the sound of your kids' footsteps? Like we know which kid it is by their feet. It's always been that way. Like Cooper walks really slow and really cautiously. Um, Harbor walks fast, 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 and Sawyer walks with anger. So when we hear his feet hit the ground in the morning, I'm not joking. We're like, oh, brace yourself, brace yourself. We live in Minnesota and we always get snow. We're a snowy winter state, but I don't remember the last time we got this much at one time. Jamie remembered though. He said he remembered when I block things out. Um, it was a lot of snow. It was a lot. Jamie actually snowplowed it or snowblowed and shoveled from 11 to midnight after the Polar Express. And then again, like almost all day Saturday. It was a lot. And we actually, so where we moved, we have a cul-de-sac, which for anyone that's maybe doesn't, it's like we live like on a circle. So there's no like through street where we live in front of our house. And what was really cool is they push all the snow to the center of the cul-de-sac. So I got like instant like King of the Hill vibes. Did you guys do that? Like just wild snow play. And Harbor and Sawyer went out and made a castle and stuff. So that was fun. So, okay, so I just went Christmas shopping and I needed to pick up stuff for stockings. And I don't know what you guys do. We do in my family and the way I grew up, like stockings is a lot of like treats and um, like a toothbrush and toothpaste and um, I usually do socks, like just really small things. We always do band-aids. I got Sawyer and Harbor a $5 gift card to Target. So like little things. And I needed to finish that. So I ran to Walmart. And first, let me say, I'm normally a Target shopper. Um, our Walmart had like nothing in it. Nothing. I haven't been to this Walmart in years. And the shelves were bare. I was shocked. I'm so thankful that I got like most of our stuff off Amazon because I don't think there would have been the right stuff. So that's scary. Holy supply chain debacle. But so I went and I grabbed some stocking stuff and I grabbed Katie Parsons. My email is findingcoopersvoice@gmail.com. Kristen, I 2 years ago I got all my stocking stuff at Five Below and it was like jackpot. Last year I went to Five Below and there was nothing. Does anyone else notice that it's like hit or miss? Because like last year I was like all excited. I'm like, I dedicated a trip to Five Below to get my stocking stuff. Nothing. And I was like, no. We also try to be careful with sugar. I just posted this in the supporter group. Sawyer doesn't act strange from sugar. It doesn't change his personality. Sugar changes Harbor. Um, he has sugar and he goes bananas. You can watch it. It's like the Tasmanian devil, like. So I'm trying to be careful with the sugar too because I'm all for fun. Trust me, I'm all for fun and um, yay! But we do have to get through the holidays. We went into Five Below a couple weeks ago and it looked like Black Friday. I couldn't breathe. I'm a terrible shopper. FYI, everyone. I'm a terrible shopper. I am. Hey, Connie. I I get hot and I get like overwhelmed. So I'm not. I've never, ever, ever been a good shopper. And I always just want to leave. I'm always like, forget it, let's just leave. I'm Nicole. Sugar is crack for my son, but it also makes him chatty. So Cooper's pretty even keel on sugar, but I have this memory of he went to my mom's for the weekend and I picked him up. It was actually Mother's Day. And he had had a lot of sugar at grandma's and this is years ago, lots and lots of sugar. And when I drove him and Sawyer home, um, I don't tell a lot of these stories because I don't like the judgment that they receive, but um, we were really in the brunt of the hardness of Cooper's behaviors and his struggles, and he couldn't communicate, and he was just having a really hard time. And he had had a lot of sugar, and I had to like drive with like my arm behind, like holding his feet still because he was kicking his brother, and it was a terrible, terrible experience. And we made a lot of changes with sugar after that because I was like, nope, 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 made a lot of changes because I'm like, we can't have that. Now he seems sugar doesn't seem to affect Cooper at all, but he actually doesn't eat a lot of sugar. Where like Harbor would sit down and eat like a Kit Kat this big and then like morph into a gremlin and climb the walls. So we have to be careful with that. Anywho, so Rachel, it's so hard. I don't talk about it a lot because again, I'm so negative. ah, you know, Negative, negative, me. So I don't talk about that a lot, but it's a very real reality for a lot of families. And car rides can be very dangerous. And we don't have that struggle anymore, but we did. Hi, Haley. So I got picked, but why do I have to pay? Alex, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I must have missed your first question. Where's the baby? She's at grandma's today. Okay, so I'm sitting in the parking lot of Walmart. I had just came out. I was like decompressing because there was two checkout lines open and 4,000 people, so I had to go through the self checkout, and they only like leave this much for your stuff. So I had to like keep like moving the bags to the cart, and then I'm like, they're gonna think I'm shoplifting. I was like, I was like, just have a checkout open because it's not hard. So I was sitting there and I just got flooded with this emotion that I have been buying the same presents for Cooper for 8 years. The same things. Now, some things, thank you, Shelby, some things have changed. Um, some things have changed. He's really into like old-fashioned train movies now, so awesome. But he loves a good Elmo book. He loves a good Barney book. He loves paper. That's been forever. He loves a fuzzy blanket, squishies, the same squishies every year. We buy the same things. And I was kind of just overwhelmed with like an emotion of, I was sitting there and it was like, how do I want to feel about this? You know, my son is 11 and he loves Barney and Elmo. And yep, Bridget. And then another emotion like immediately replaced it. It was like, I am so glad that I have things that I can buy him. Stephanie, I just talked about this. Stephanie and I were just chatting about this. I am so, um, okay, I'm just reading the comments. Um, I am so thankful that he has things that he loves, and I'm so thankful that I can get him things that he loves. And I was just like, I just smiled because it's like I know that like when he opens up this Dora book, like you know, he loves Dora, he loves Barney, the Good Dinosaur, Lightning McQueen is his favorite. I know when he opens up this book, he's gonna gasp and he's gonna be like, we have three of the books downstairs, but that's okay. That's okay. Um, he's so joyful. And so I was chatting with Stephanie on here about age appropriate. And there's a pretty strong divide. You know, people have differing opinions on this. And excellent parents have different opinions on this, and that's allowed. Some parents think that toys should be age appropriate for their kids. I that isn't my mountain. That isn't my thing. I get Cooper things that he loves and things that he will enjoy. And I went to a presentation years ago, and I can't remember who the mom was. And I wouldn't say it anyways because she seemed like a very, very nice lady. She seemed like a very nice lady. She was doing a presentation with her son. And she said something, though, that has stuck with me. Like, this was years ago, and this has stuck with me, and I think about it a lot. And you know how when you go listen to someone, like what they're saying is gospel. Like, you know, I was looking up to her and I was like impressed with her and she was awesome. And um and she said, quote, turn the Barney off and put National Geographic on. And I remember I was like the music stopped and I was like, what? Like, A, Cooper's not going to watch anything he doesn't want to watch. I'm putting National Geographic on isn't going to teach him. It's going to be like background music. It's not gonna help him. And she went on to say that by doing this, by doing National Geographic and Discovery Channel, her child has advanced light years and is like so smart and knows so many things. And I still think about it. It's been like 5 years and I still think about it because like I don't want like some parent you to think like if you put National Geographic on, your child's going to start talking and they're going to learn so much and then they're going to go to college and blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's not fair. Like, that's not fair. Like, I can't force Cooper to watch TV, nor would that ever be a priority of mine. I don't know. I remember having big feelings about, and I admit, right or wrong, negative or positive, I remember thinking we'd be watching Barney forever and feeling sad about that. I remember having big feelings about that because it's like, he was 5 or 6, and I'm gonna be like, I was like, is he gonna be 30 watching Barney? Like I didn't, and then I had this epiphany, like I did with so many things, where I'm like, well, if he's happy, who cares? Like if he's happy, I don't care. I want him happy. And but there are big schools of thought on this that so Stephanie, I don't want to steal her story, but she was telling us how her son's teacher wants him to play with age appropriate toys at school. And she's like, I just know it's not going to fly. She's like, my son's not going to play with things that he doesn't want to play with. And Cooper's not like I could buy Cooper Matchbox cars. And Alex, I see your messages, Alex. I'll reach out to you after, okay? I see what you're saying. Um, I could buy him Matchbox cars and Legos. I could buy him the Lego set for age 10 to 14 because he's 11. I could do that. And he wouldn't even look at it. He doesn't even look at half of his Christmas presents because he loves paper and he loves train postcards and he loves train movies and he loves squishies. And you know what his big surprise present this year is going to be? And I don't know if you'll like it. A poppet. A poppet. Um, so Don says I have waves of feeling both ways. Yep. So the other thing I'll say, um, that I'll say is, oh, my mind just went blank. This is like a fourth baby thing where I don't think age appropriate is the right word, but like what I where I don't care what toys Cooper plays with. That doesn't matter to me. His programming doesn't matter to me, and his toys don't matter to me. What I do want him to do is push him to get out in the community. So I'm not going to force him to play with Legos because that's not something that he needs to know how to do. But when we go, oh, this is another topic that I'll talk about too. But like I want him to like go out and do somewhat age appropriate things like um I'm trying to think of an example. Go to a jump park or out in the community. Like, I love him. That's where I push. Again, my way of thinking isn't necessarily right. Every parent is allowed to have their own way of thinking. That's the awesome part. We're all parents to our own kids. Um, One thing that's hard, and I think a lot of you can relate to this that have older kids, is if we go to a playground, if we go to a water park, Cooper wants to be in the toddler section. That's a hard thing. Okay? Can someone, I don't just let this catch up because I want to see if anyone can relate to this. So he wants to be in the toddler section. It's like he feels comfortable there. He likes the little kid stuff. And that's something that I have a lot of big feelings about. And I reach out to a lot of parents of older kids and try and get advice because I don't know what's appropriate there. And what I mean by that is I don't care what Cooper plays, but is it safe for him to be around 2-year-olds in the sense that what if he slips and falls? Or would the other parents get uncomfortable? That's a hard one. That's a really hard one, and I don't have the right answer for that, and we're navigating that as we go. Um, And yeah. And Koopsa, um, yes, because so Jessica, people can't see her. I don't know why it grayed out your comment, but she said, yes, because people are so rude to us when we're there. That's the thing. I'm fine with Cooper being there. He's the happiest. It's not me. Please be there. Enjoy every moment of your life, pal, there. But people can be really, really rude and judgy and not nice. And again, Cooper, he is somewhat clumsier. That's his low muscle tone. Does he have problems falling? No. But I worry too, like what if he was to slip and a little kiddo was to get hurt or something? Um, there's lots of things that go into this. There's so many topics I think with our kids that aren't um, they're not black and white. They're not we live in the gray area. We live in the gray area. So yeah, I was thinking I've been thinking about this all day because I'm buying the same presents that I bought every year. And I'm happy that I'm buying them. I'm happy that he wants to open them. Why are there so many? I wonder why I wonder why the comments are grayed out. It's a mixed bag because sometimes small children are the most accepting. I agree, Whitney. Absolutely. Um, Another thing is, we don't have this much anymore, but do you remember when, um, because Cooper's 11 and we know exactly who Cooper is now and we want him to be himself entirely. I remember though when he was like 5 and 6 and family being like, what do I buy Cooper for Christmas? And I'll be like, a Barney DVD, an Elmo plushie or something. And like, I remember people being like, are you sure? Are you sure that, um, wowzers. No, I think it's graying out the comments. You can't see them, Crystal. It's graying out. I must have an alert on the word rude. I don't know why. So whenever someone has a message with a comment with the word rude in it, it grays it out so you guys can't see it. Isn't that funny? I didn't realize what a judgmental jerk I was until I had my autistic son. Isn't that the truth? Um, Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, hey Kim. I remember oh, what was I gonna say? This is my fourth baby thing. Something about being judgmental. What was it? I was gonna say something about a book about being judgmental before we had kids. Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember. I remember things other people have said though. Like I remember why this things stay in our head. I remember having lunch with an old coworker and she was talking about her nephew and how they had all went on vacation together and like her nephew was 3 and like how she thought it was so comical that he had to have his bath every night at 6 o'clock and be put to bed at a certain time and couldn't like the routine couldn't be deviated from at all. And I remember like laughing with her and being like, that's crazy, like why can't they just chill out and relax? Well, that's once you have a child who has needs to have a very strict set schedule to be successful, you know, like. So I laugh about that. Just different things that have stuck in my mind. I like to think that I was always kind to people with differences, but I don't know. I'm sure someone would say I wasn't. So yeah, age appropriate. I think while there can be big feelings around buying age appropriate toys for a while, what I've learned is like moms with kids my age, 9, 10, 11, 12, and up, you're just so thankful that your kids have joy that I'll buy all the Elmo and Barney that I don't care. Bring it on. So I think you learn and grow. You We're not stuck. We're not trees. We're allowed to grow and do better and figure stuff out. I've noticed bigger kids are more accepted in the toddler pool when they have younger siblings or cousins. Um, our 8-year-old loves to play on the younger kid toys at the playground. He's great at playing with little kids. Kids his age are mean to him. I don't know. I'm trying to think if Cooper does. So I can't. The term age appropriate, I think, is just so, ugh. But does Cooper do? I think some of his things are. I think some of his things are age appropriate. But I'm very honest. Like, I don't really think of Cooper as an age. Like, he's like just super unique. He is himself. He is exactly who he's supposed to be, and I don't think of it any different. Yeah, I don't think of it. The only time I ever really think about Cooper's age, and this is fewer and farther in between now, is I'll think about Cooper's age if I'm in a setting where I'm surrounded by kids his age. That's that'll I'll feel that a little bit, and I'll be like I remember the first time I remember vividly. I wrote about it. I had brought Sawyer to like a thing at the school, and I was surrounded by kids Cooper's age, and I was sitting there, and for like the first time I wasn't the oh it was like soccer shots, and for the first time I wasn't Cooper's mom. I was there just being Sawyer's mom. I wasn't because don't you guys ever feel like when you have a child with autism, a lot of your or a disability, like people talk to you about that. And I was just there and I was just observing. I was like a fly on the wall. And I was watching all these kids that were Cooper's age, and like they were talking about like play dates and sports and girls. And I was like, how old are those kids? It was like I had no idea. I had no idea that's what kids his age were doing. Um, Thank you, Amanda. I remember I mean, I was more shocked than anything. I was like, oh my gosh, they have like whole social networks and circles and like play dates and plans. I mean, it really baffled me. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And then another thing that really caught me off guard, and did break my heart, right or wrong, positive or negative. I can admit my faults if it was wrong, but this is a story of something that really did break my heart, and I felt it for a while. We were at the park. We had walked to our park, our local park, and Cooper's a good-looking kid. Let's be clear. Like he is a cutie patootie, and Cooper was like sitting on this bench while all the rest of us were like I had like the little kids on the playground or whatever, and Cooper was sitting on this bench, and there was a group of girls that were exactly Cooper's age, like because I knew them, I know of them. They were like 11 and 12, and they were standing in a circle as girls do, and they were like doing their hair, and they were like giggling, and they were watching these boys. They were on their phones, and they were watching these boys playing soccer, who were Cooper's peers too, and Cooper, and they were looking at Cooper. Like they were like looking at him because he's totes adorbs. And he ran up to them and he got like in the middle of their circle and he was dancing to Barney, and they weren't mean. They were making eyes at each other, but like they didn't know what to do, and they like dispersed. And it went from this moment of like they were checking him out to they were wondering what was going on with him. And that one got me. I don't have that happen very often, but that one, I felt that in my mommy heart. And after the kids were in bed, I cried that one out because I hadn't seen that before. I hadn't seen that happen, and I know it's going to happen a lot more, and I need to prepare for it. And Cooper is happy in exactly who he is, and he didn't know that they were making or teasing him. He didn't, or thinking he was weird. They didn't know. He didn't know, I mean, and that's okay. So that's dumb. Age stuff's hard. Age stuff's just hard. It is. So, what I was the eloquent like way I was gonna say it is like every year I buy bigger socks and underwear for my boy, and I'm still buying the same toys that I bought 10 years ago. That was kind of I might write it still. It helps me to write things out. So it's like I think that the message that I try to always get across is you're allowed to feel however you want to feel. If those things don't hurt your heart, that's awesome. But don't be mean to parents where it does hurt their heart because they're just learning and they're just figuring this stuff out. And there's no rules or so be kind. I see a lot of mean stuff out there to mamas, so be kind to each other, please. Oh boy. Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna delete this right here. Um, I'm gonna go on. Everyone have a great day. We are just cleaning the house tonight. We're on the Christmas prep. Like we are getting ready. And I am getting stressed. Trying to stay calm. So, okay. Bye everyone. Thanks for joining. Oh, oh yeah, never mind. I'll figure it out. Bye.